Hey folks, I know what we're going to talk about today. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Today we're going to talk about the 3v3 offense and defense teams that are the best to place for this season. And I do this every season, and this one is pretty spectacular, I have to admit. So go check out my defensive teams video that's being released at the exact same time as this one. You can find the link in the video description, or you can wait to the end of this video. There will be a link at the end. You can also come watch me play live on Twitch. That's linked in the video description. It's free, and it's a good time, guys. It's a fun time. I just got a few more animated emotes. They are completely ridiculous, but I think they've been well received. So let's first I want to thank my patrons. Actually, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all your support, guys. Truly appreciate every single one of you. I could not do this without you. I truly couldn't. So thank you guys so much. And if you want to support this channel for free, folks, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, comment, mount the algorithm, guys. The algorithm is meta. Believe it or not, it's part of the meta. It's crazy to even think of it like that, I realize, but whoa, we're in the game. That's also madness, and it's meta. So offensive teams, what are we doing this season, guys? So it's cheese meta is what a lot of people call it. A lot of times what's going on is you place a lot of junk teams, or maybe not junk teams, but like teams that you like hope that someone's going to drop like a banner or two, and then you keep all your good teams and you try to get like just out stress your opponent, like where you just get the most crazy obnoxious top score and they just barely don't get that crazy top score, and you're both all stressed out because if you drop one banner it's miserable. And I hate that meta, folks. I hate it, and I'm not going to play along with it, I guess. You can play pretty well efficiency wise in this game without keeping every single galactic legend. To me it's very boring. That's the way you bore yourself to death and burn out in this game, and I'm just not going to do it. That being said, 3v3, you do need a few more galactic legends on offense than usual, just because they are the ones that are going to unlock the majority of the teams that you're going to face. So the question is, how do you create the right balance between the meta teams that you're placing and the meta teams that you're going to, you have to be able to plan to counter these things. And so we dropped the Jabba Kron. It's the Boosh Kron, but it made the Jabba team really strong. That's gone, and that's basically it. I mean, there's like the cat no revive Kron, but that wasn't that effective or amazing toward the end. And otherwise, we still have a lot of crazy stuff going on. So we need to be able to counter Leia, and Leia's still pretty strong on defense. We need to be able to counter Jabba, though. I'm interested to see if you put Doubt Kron on Jabba, is that going to stop the Night Sisters counter? I'm not sure. That's one big question mark. For me, because we can't test it until we actually see the Omicron from Marin, etc. All of this being said, folks, I think the number one thing that I'm going to do is immediately drop 6 banners by taking this Supreme Leader Kylo team. And so this is my middle account. This is 11 million GP. So I only at this point I have 7 GLs. For like, a few months ago I only had 3, but we've been adding 1 per month for a while because fun, apparently. So we're at 11 million, so how am I going to be able to counter all this stuff? I'm in Kyber 1 at this point pretty consistently. How do I beat this stuff? The number one thing, I'm gonna just merge 3 of my teams into one, because why? At this point in 3s, we have so much character overlap. A ton of characters just don't even get used, even if they're high relics, etc. So Supreme Leader Kylo is going to counter a lot of stuff, guys. The Rey team is really strong this season because of the Datacrons. This probably counters Rey pretty decently. At least it'll kill the ads. At the very least, the idea is you want your Geobrood Alpha to be fairly weak, so if you're facing, whoever you're facing, it hurts the Geobrood Alpha before armor gets to go, and then armor immediately has a 3rd stack puts that third Beskar ingot onto Supreme Leader Kylo so he can't be crit, and he's healing himself all the time, and he's countering, and that's going to counter Leia, that's going to counter Rey, it's going to counter probably Jabba. A lot of teams you're going to be able to beat with that kind of combo, and that you can go with the more traditional route of like Kylo Ren unmasked and Hux on the team. Maybe that's probably better against Jabba, but otherwise, this is the team I'm planning to use against Leia, because everyone's going to be placing Leia on defense, I think. Unless everyone's so afraid of Rey that they're going to keep Leia. We're in the efficiency meta. We may just end up using a solo Supreme Leader Kylo against a junk team to get max banners, because we're playing this big game of stress. So, the next team... and yeah, we don't have to adhere to perfectly have this team, the Jedi Master Luke team. Here's the why I like this team. This is the highest percentage team that beats the Dark Trooper Moff Gideon team with the double Moff build, where Moff Gideon is there to just ramp up their offense. This team wins at like an 89% clip, something like that. And even though that's not the highest of clips, that's probably the best you're going to get for a Jedi Master Luke comp against it. And Jedi Master Luke in 3s is awkward. Like you can give him a ton of protection and stuff now with the current cron set. The Jedi are way better, and yet they're still in 3s going to be fairly awkward trying to get decent banners against things and get good value. Yeah, you could probably kill like a Lord Vader team. You could kill Supreme Leader Kylo if he's on defense, though I wouldn't. But I would keep Kylo this season, guys, on offense. But Jedi Master Luke, I think killing a really strong meta, like Datacron level team with Jedi Master Luke is pretty much his pinnacle. That's his dream. He's like, man, if I could just achieve that, I would deserve the ice cream sandwich that the game has given me. And I don't blame him, man. He needs to earn it. So this is the best comp for that. You could probably swap out Hermit Yoda for a lot of things. Jedi Cal, most people aren't going to be placing Malgus, I think, because the current meta also restricts your ability to gain turn meter, which is pretty harsh. You know, from dark side teams, you put the Doubt Cron on a lot of teams on defense, which means the opponent team is just not going to get that much turn meter gain, which means Malgus is so custom built for that meta on offense, you kind of want to keep him on offense. But I guess we'll see. We'll see a mix, but this team can also counter Malgus for that matter, and I think that's a fairly good trade as well. You don't want to shoot too high with Jedi Master Luke. You'll just find yourself disappointed. Jedi Master Kenobi is probably going to be on offense to counter Jabba, is my guess. In 5s, he's going to be doing some really cool stuff, some weird stuff with like Kit Fisto and stuff. I don't think we need the Kit Fisto cron this time around, this iteration, this 3v3 season. And I don't think we need to mess around too much with like putting Cat with Rey or any of that madness. I think just the pretty traditional Jedi Master Kenobi team, this will kill most squads in the game. And yeah, it's nice to have on defense, but we're going to be putting a lot of teams on defense anyways. This is one that I think is going to be just a little too helpful on offense to really ignore. So I'd keep that on offense. Now the one that I would flex, so I'm probably going to be putting this account does not have Lord Vader. I would probably put Lord Vader down without Maul on defense with a Doubt Cron, and we'll talk about that on defense on the defense video. But the one that I would say is like the flexible squad, that if you really want to overwhelm your opponent with one extra team, you're like, man, how many teams can I force them to only, like, there's only a handful of teams that are going to force your opponent to use a Galactic Legend at this point, or Bane. Bane kind of counts as a Galactic Legend on offense. Silly Turtle Emperor meets that. Honestly, there's not a lot that's going to beat him from offense. They're going to need to use a Galactic Legend. Now, if they keep 7 or 8 Galactic Legends, they're going to have a lot to choose from, plus Bane. But this is your gamble of, do you want to have him on offense or on defense? Yes, he is automatic, amazing banners on offense, and I acknowledge that. At the same time as saying Silly Eternal Emperor can also go on defense and mess with people. This is your flexible squad that kind of, sometimes keep it, sometimes don't. If you want to play efficiency, yes, he's so clutch on offense. He's also one of the few teams that are going to demand your opponent use a Galactic Legend for the most part, or Bane. You have to put good characters next to him, of course. Now, Bane, with like Darth Maul, whatever sacrificial lamb you want to use, you can just kill off that one character early on, and then Darth Bane goes in and solos whatever nonsense you're facing. And he does that to almost everyone. There's only a few characters and teams that he actually fears. Maybe like a Kenobi squad, because they'll just auto kill Bane. Nothing here really. I mean, maybe Supreme Leader Kylo, depending on the situation, but for the most part, guys, he's just... it's so weird that he's getting a Datacron, because what else does he kill with his Datacron that he wasn't killing before? Like, in 5s, he just killed everything, almost. And now he'll kill everything again. I guess if you want to kill, like, Leia or something, maybe you want to combine forces with him and Sith Eternal Emperor. Something like that. Maybe he fears Jabba. There's only a few Galactic Legends he fears. And I feel like he almost made 5v5 a laughingstock, because there's just too many good teams on offense lately. And people are just playing... They're just like, oh, I can get a good score if I just bring all of my good stuff and leave just garbage. And you can tell I'm not bitter by me saying anything like that, right? Okay, Darth Malgus. This is probably going to be the thing I hunt the Dark Trooper Moff Gideon team the most with. Also, this kills Inquisition. This is probably a squad that if I don't see my opponent placing Inquisition in the front, I will keep the Darth Malgus team for the back zone to kill Inquisition, because this is one of the few teams that's going to do it very consistently. If you keep your Sith Eternal Emperor around, I have Malak assigned to him. If you're keeping him for offense, then you probably want to be a little flexible and make sure you have Malak available to put with Darth Malgus' team, just because I think the best version of this against Inquisition is taking out Basti and adding Malgus instead. This is the best version against Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. So that's what this squad is here for. They're just going to kill either Dark Trooper Moff Gideon or Inquisition, and we're almost guaranteed that your opponent's going to place one of those two teams on defense every single time, because that's just how the meta is going right now, and that you want a team that can actually roll those teams fairly consistently and not have to worry about it a whole lot. Now, here's the new secret weapon, guys. This is how you beat... apparently, this is how you beat Rey. I've seen a lot of people... I've done a lot of research on it. A lot of people having tons of success against Rey. Now, Rey is a new and very dangerous opponent right now, and I'm not 100% that this team is going to be able to beat her. We don't know, because the Omicrons don't work when we're testing it, and there are a lot of Omicrons involved. Gosh, they're on a 3v3 team. There are 6 Omicrons on this team. I could have, I guess, up to 7, which is just obscene. But that being said, I know that EP and Mara are just getting kicked to the curb. They don't get to go with Starkiller. That's fine. They can just deal with it. They can cash in their food stamps. That's fine. They've served us well for a long time, and this team is the one that's going to kill Rey. Now remember, in Rey, the predominant theory, and I mean a prevailing theory, the thing that I've been even saying is you want the Rey Datacron for 3v3, because she's going to revive once you kill her, and she comes back and you have to kill her again, which is obnoxious. The thing is, Malicos doesn't let them revive. He doesn't allow that. He's like, that is nonsense. You need to knock that crap off right now. And Rey just does. She obeys him, and she dies like a good person will. And this team killed Rey a lot last season. I think it's going to have a pretty decent result this season as well. We'll see, but this is what I'm planning to use against pretty much every Rey comp out there. And if it doesn't work, then we'll have to adjust, probably use some kind of Galactic Legend, but this is the team I'm going to be using. And let's see. Okay, so right now there's a lot of. I mean, Adred is so good right now. We have a Jin Kron that she just ramps her damage like crazy, which is really strong in threes. This will beat a lot of teams. I've beat. You probably don't want to mess with the Dark Trooper Moff Gideon team this season. Like next threes, I'm guessing it'll be open field on that team, and Radis will just kill the hell out of it. But this team will still kill all the Iden teams. If you get lucky, it'll kill an Inquisition team. I wouldn't really recommend it necessarily. Depending on who you're facing, K2SO or Cassian is going to be good. Maybe Scarab Rebel Pathfinder if you need a tank and you don't have K2SO. This will kill a lot of those really strong Empire teams. It also kills, well, it won't kill Tuskens unless the Tusken team is pretty dumb, like poorly constructed, like they don't have the Tusken Raider Kron, for instance, etc. But this team, you'll usually find in threes, you usually find a use for Admiral Radis with Jin, especially when they're boosted the way they are with a really cool Kron for their team. They're a pretty valuable team, and I have been enjoying the heck out of them on all three of my accounts, to be honest, guys. We also have, so this is another question mark. How good is the Zori team going to be with the new Kron? It seems like it's going to be pretty strong. This team pretty consistently beat the old Zori. I don't know if it's going to be the same story to be able to beat them. I did recently put a couple relics on Mace Windu because he's awesome, man. He's a really good character. And don't listen to people who are making videos about how trash he is, because he's not trash. He's awesome. He's really good. And he helps you, in this case, kill a lot of really cool stuff, including Zori. I'm guessing this team still does okay against Zori. The big question mark is, can you get all of the Zori team down to below health before you start being able to kill them? Like, usually you just pick on one of them, take them out, and then take out another one. And in this case, you're going to have to spread the wealth a little bit. I think it's going to be a little complicated and difficult to achieve. So, that being said, this team will still take out a lot of stuff. The flexibility of Revan being able to mark whoever he wants, and then everyone just, you have the stun, you have the ability to chip away at their max health and defense, and protection between Luke and Window, and ability block on base. I mean, this team is just so flexible against so many things, and and sometimes maybe you'll need a couple of these characters to go with Jedi Master Luke. You never know, but luckily everyone's on offense. All the Jedi stay on offense for the most part, guys. The troopers, who knows how they're gonna do? Are they gonna kill the CLS teams a lot with all the extra protection up? Probably not. What else do they kill? I mean, honestly, I think you should just be putting Piet with Lord Vader for the most part, and then just have these other two guys just sit on the bench and chill. Let's see, so Bando, you can put Bando with Dash, and if you have him clocked the right way, I mean, he's got a really good Kron, he's going to be able to kill a lot of stuff. If you don't want to put him with Dash, you can put him with Han and Chewie. Otherwise, Han and Chewie are kind of just more and more landless men. Like, they just hang out. They don't really recover many banners unless they're with Bando, because Beskar Mando is able to help them go immune to damage sometimes. He's able to help them heal a lot. Chewie also does heal them if you give him the opportunity. So this team, you'd be able to kill a lot of stuff. I'd like it because if you get the Whistling Birds off, you're going to be able to just ignore their ability to revive, which is nice. I mean, you have Jedi to do that now with the current Kron set, but this is also nice with Bando. You can take out like a smaller team like Night Sisters pretty consistently. The Night Sisters like, I'll just revive, and you're like, no, you won't, stupid. And it's wonderful. So Afra does not have the really awesome Afrakron. That was the other big team that we missed. I meant to mention that at the start. Jabba, Kron, and Afra. She's kind of taken a step back. She doesn't even get to use her Omicrons because her Omicrons are, for some reason, they're like, hey, you can only use these in 5s. And I'm like, why is that? Like, she's already a luxury squad. Like, you're gonna just reduce her value. It's so stupid. But that she's going to be there to kill small things. She used to be able to kill Jabba pretty consistently in 3s. Without her Kron, she's no longer God mode. She's merely fun. A lot of times she'll just sit on the bench or, That's basically what she'll do. You can put her on defense, I guess, and put the Doubtkron on. I don't know. I guess that's their worst choices. The Doubtkron will work okay with them. That'll be fun. Have fun with that. Treya. So one thing I experimented with last season, guys, was does Treya need Savage? And almost always the answer was no. You just don't need. If you have the Omicron on Treya, as long as you choose the right targets, like you're not trying to target the top end teams, especially if you're facing Inquisition, they're gonna outmatch you right now because of their Kron. And even if you have Savage with his Omicron. So, like, choose the right teams, and you'll get a lot of value. And you can either use Thrawn here. Sometimes you maybe want Thrawn with Lord Vader. But Sith Empire Trooper also backs him up pretty well. I mean, Scion also does okay here. Sometimes you can just two-man it. Just depends on what your read is. Don't, they'll kill, like, Tuskens pretty well if you do it right, if you kind of target the right characters and stuff, especially because the Tusken Kron isn't here anymore. They'll take out CLS really nicely. CLS wants no part of Treya. You just have to be strategic, guys. That's all. Just got to be strategic about it. So Palp and Mara, they can just hang out with some kind of tank or whoever. I mean, you could put Darth Vader here if you have him available, and they'll kill small teams. They're a nice tool to have sometimes. You can put them on defense, but man, there's just so many things that beat them on defense. So your call, but I like them on offense as a tool to be able to, you can loop turn meter pretty well with them, and you can delete a few mid-range teams that you're going to end up seeing. I wouldn't count on them being able to do much, and sometimes maybe you just throw them with Starkiller anyways, if your opponent went full cheese and didn't deploy Rey. So we'll see. The Dash team, this is my favorite version of Dash, which is why I didn't put Bando with him. You can put Bando here with him, and then just take Hondo off, and Hondo can go hang out. I mean, he's decent on defense. You can throw him with like old Ben Lead or something on defense. That's fine. This team kills a lot of stuff too. I guess they don't have the no revive Kron anymore, so they're slightly less useful against teams like Night Sisters, but still have some value. And Hondo, even though Vander can't revive him, Hondo has a lot of value on offense, and he just one-shots a lot of things, deletes a lot of things. It's a lot of fun. So Darth Sidious is another Wampa, guys, just another version of it. Still operates around dots. Remember, if you have the dot, most people are going to have Darth Sidious at this point. If you have, say, the Eternal Emperor, they'll have a Relic 7 Sidious, which means you can have the Datacron, which means he's just going to be able to delete a lot of stuff. It's weird on this account. I don't have the Zeta, and I'm not sure how much you're gonna miss the Zeta. Honestly, I think you'll be okay. You'll miss it a little bit, but he needs to apply 5 damage over times, and then he auto deletes a character once they activate or something. I don't know. It looks pretty interesting. I'm intrigued. I'd be more excited about it if there weren't already, just the defenses are already so slim. Like, that's why we gotta stack the really good teams on defense, so that Sidious can't, he's not gonna kill a Galactic Legend. He'll kill a lot of stuff. Like, I've seen him kill, General Skywalker teams, so that's cool. I would maybe not risk it that much, but Rex will just delete him. Remember, Execute will just one-shot him. Well, I mean, he's gonna have similar targets to Wampa. He's just a better version of Wampa right now. Womp. Let's see, on offense, I don't recommend the Omicron on Akbar or Leia, but if you happen to have them, you can put them with Stormtrooper Han, or you can put them with Mon Mothma. That's one thing that I've been experimenting with lately, because Mothma is just not very good in 3s anymore, and this team will kill a lot of stuff. Nothing too crazy. It'll kill I think the biggest thing that I like about it is it dispels. Because Mothma can summon Worthless Guy, and then Worthless Guy sometimes is able to dispel the taunt on different things, and that's nicer than Stormtrooper Han, which he does not dispel those things. So Stormtrooper Han, great for this team. Mothma, probably just a little bit better. You still get a lot of turn meter. Mon Mothma doesn't do any offensive moves, so anything she does triggers the assists and everything. This team kills, easy squads, basically. Or it kills the what's his name? Adrad, which is nice. Poor old bounty hunters, man. Right now, Lord Vader with the Doubtcron just totally shuts him down, and that was kind of like their last gasp of like, oh hey, I could be useful. Like this, so they could still probably clean up a Lord Vader squad if you kill everyone but Lord Vader. You just want Fennec lead. Otherwise, this will kill like people who are foolish enough to be putting an Adrad team on defense. You'll be able to take them out fairly well. You know, you don't need Fennec necessarily. Unless you're taking on, like, trying to clean up Lord Vader or another galactic legend. Poor bounty hunters, man. I hope we get bounty hunter Asajj sometime, and she can just make the whole faction more relevant. They used to be so good, and early in mid game they're still really good. They just keep losing traction, and I don't know what to do about it. Just mourn them, I suppose. Okay, so something I'll mention on the defensive video. If you want, like, the best version of Dark Trooper Moff Gideon on defense is going to involve Moff Gideon and Scout Trooper, but you can put a slightly less effective version on defense and keep Moff Gideon, and I really like doing that because then you can still have your Gidmate team, and that actually, if you know what you're doing, you can in fact take out that Seer Malicos crew team that everyone's going to be placing on defense. I don't think people should be placing it on defense, but everyone does, and this team beats it fairly consistently if you know what you're doing. I played around with it a lot last season, and it worked most of the time pretty consistently once I finally got the hang of it. It's pretty nice. So I would recommend making a slightly less awesome version of the Dark Trooper Moff Gideon team and keeping this in reserve if you're struggling with killing that Seer Malicos squad. IG Queel with Boba or whatever, I mean, they're okay on offense. On defense, not so much. Like, you could put Bando with them. I was killing Tusken teams last season with Bando here instead of Boba. This is kind of a desperation move team. Let's see, the Night Sisters. I think this is the build that kills Jabba, one-shots Jabba. We're gonna have to test and see if that's a consistent thing this season. Otherwise, we're gonna be keeping Jabba on offense because we don't want him to die to Night Sisters, like to this build. It's embarrassing, but otherwise you kill like General Grievous squads. It kills, you know, a bunch of bad teams. Teams like, I guess, Grand Inquisitor lead Inquisition that don't have Reva. You can beat them like pretty consistently with that. And then, I mean, if you have a decent Bad Batch team, they'll kill some stuff too. Obviously. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys my like main account good teams on the defensive video, so you guys can watch that. It's not too much different about that account that isn't here on this account as well. But anyways, what teams are you looking forward to use on offense this season, guys? There's a lot of weirdness just because there's so many good Datacrons right now, and Bane also just kills one squad, and if you keep 8 Galactic Legends plus Bane, that's gonna kill 9. You only have to kill 6 other teams. And, you know, 3's, at least that way, at least people are going to have to use, like, less than godlike teams if they want to play efficiency. They're going to have to use a few teams that aren't just god level, god tier. So, that's not fun, though, to me. So, let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Are you going to play efficiency? Would love to know what your thoughts are. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Zareth prevails.